Well, it looks like old Snowman's got to hand out some receipts. Doggone it. Next on the morning show.
On your mark, get set. Let's go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
Montana looking, throwing in the end zone. Caught it! Dwight!
Merrill over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
And that'll do it. It's over. The Golden State Warriors return to a familiar place. They're on top of the NBA world.
We're down to 2, now to 1. Here's Jordan. Yes! It is all over. The Chicago Bulls.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah!
Oh, yeah, baby. And away we go on a Monday. Good morning. Welcome to another Manic Monday edition of Snowman in the Morning. And I'm doing two things at once. Maybe three. Fifth Down Sports is already in the chat with us, saying, isn't it a great Monday after a Cowboys win? Yeah, if you want to think that. I'm kidding as I say that, of course. Oh, boy. We are live on YouTube and BS3 Network, and we're on two channels on YouTube today, as we are on the SDM Sports Radio Network, as well as the Snowman in the Morning Network, and we are on live on SDM Sports Radio Network. Man, oh, man. Lots to do in a short time to get there. Had a Snowman in the Morning Plus scheduled, but unfortunately Drew is not feeling well, and we're going to push it back to next Monday with a new time of 1:05. So this whole week there will not be an SITM Plus unless I get some guests at the last minute. But you know something? Who cares? Can't do that. Can't do that. Doggone it. Raw Roo Rares. All right, let's go to the Fanatics feedback zone. Victor Locke says, good morning, gents. I'm back in the office, so I will need some help from you guys to keep my sanity. Well, Victor, if anybody understands, you're talking to him. I completely get it. I completely get it. I'm doing some things in OBS while streaming to our second channel. That's why you'll hear pauses and such, because I'm trying to figure out a way to get all this streamed and get all this out there to you guys. I still have a few pieces to create, and I'm going to create it. You'll see me looking to my left a lot because that's where my monitor is. That's where my second monitor is. Chris Deeds has a serious question. Can we talk about how great of a coach Pete Carroll is? The Seahawks lead the NFC West. Just let that sink in. No, we will not talk about how great of a coach Pete Carroll is, because my next three words are not for long. Not for long. But what we are going to talk about to kick off the show, the World Series is set, and it only took a grand total of 9 games. 9 games. The Yankees got swept, and the Padres got killed. But let me be serious. Any one of those games in the National League Championship Series could have gone either way. San Diego, and I got to hand out some receipts. Excuse me a minute. Here's a couple of receipts I got to hand out now. And this one is for the city of San Diego. There you go. Because I totally did not believe in them. Boy, they made a liar out of me. They made an absolute liar out of me. And it didn't take much to do that. Them beating the Dodgers, and I pulled for them to beat the Dodgers. I really, really did. I pulled for the Padres to beat the Dodgers. I didn't think they had a chance in hell. But after beating the 101-win Mets and the 111-win Dodgers in a grand total of 7 games. Hey, they got my attention and then some. So, congrats to the Padres, but especially, congrats to the Philadelphia Phillies. Because, boy, like I said, the Phillies made an even bigger liar out of me than the Padres did. They made a bigger liar out of me than the Padres did. The Phillies smashed. I mean, absolutely killed the San Diego Padres. 4-1. And people are going, how the hell did that happen? I'm wondering the same thing. How the hell did that happen? Well, it happened. It happened. And Bryce Harper was named the NLCS Most Valuable Player. And well-deserved. Well-deserved for Bryce. I mean, he signed a long contract with Philadelphia. And I initially thought, ain't no way in hell this is going to pan out. I guess that's what I get for thinking. Because, the Philadelphia Phillies made a straight-up liar out of me. And it was so... It's crazy how the Phillies did it. They did it in 5 games. It's like they said, okay, Padres, you had your fun. Spank! And they beat them in 5 games. Meanwhile, the New York Yankees, gone, deceased. Adios, goodbye. Thanks to Jeremy Pena. Let me say that name again. Jeremy Pena, a rookie. A rookie outperformed Aaron Judge. It's the same thing that, I don't know, Jose Altuve did 3 years ago. I now welcome my partner, Cole Johnson. 4 years, 4 times in 6 seasons. 2 of them with Dusty Baker at the helm.
Yeah. 4 more wins to go, baby. 4 more.
4 to go for the Astros to claim their second championship.
Oh, man, where's a broom when you need one? Doggone it.
I put mine away.
Yeah.
Because after I listened to KMBE last night, I didn't watch a ton of football this weekend. Let me be honest. I did see that Patrick Mahomes is the main.
Yeah,
and by the way, hold out your hand a minute.
Oh, yeah, yes, sir. I'll take it.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
There you go.
Like I said, the Chiefs could be had. It just wasn't going to be yesterday.
It just wasn't going to be yesterday.
Yeah.
Quick note about my 49ers. Watch them. They're going to get it together. I believe they're going to get it together. It's going to take a couple games. Back to what we were talking about, which is the Astros and the Phillies in the World Series. This is a former National League matchup. But since the Astros moved to the American League and they solved their problems from 2016,
right?
The American League has belonged to the Houston Astros.
Yep.
You can't make this up.
Yep. Yeah, they rule the American League now. Yeah. You know, and this is really nostalgic for me. So,
well, duh.
Well, yeah. So my first year of actually rooting for the Astros was 1980, and you being the baseball historian, you know where I'm about to go with this. So
I am.
For those who don't know, you just mentioned the Astros were then in the National League. They had to play a game 163 to knock out the Dodgers to win the NL West because there was only 2 divisions in each league at the time.
2 divisions at the time, East and West.
And the Phillies had to fight off the Expos because they beat them by a game just to get in to win the NL East. And then the championship series was not 7; it was a best of 5.
Best of 5.
And
it didn't become 7 until 1985.
Right. So the Stros had a 2-1 lead over the Phillies with 2 games in the Astrodome, and Nolan Ryan taking the hill in Game 5.
And you would think, with the Express pitching, you could pencil in an Astros trip to the World Series.
And he handled that lineup pretty well. I mean, they went through about a couple times. They couldn't solve them, and then one lucky number after another chased Nolan from the hill, and then the Phillies got in and got busy on the bullpen. Now the Astros fought still, but it was a Phillies game.
I think that clincher took 10 innings, did it not?
Yeah,
it took 10 innings.
It took 10.
In fact, I remember the final pitcher for the Phillies, he later pitched for the Cubs, was Dick Ruthven, number 44.
Yep. And the fly ball sailed harmlessly into Gary Maddox in the mitt, and then he earlier that inning got the game-winning hit.
Yep.
And it was like, oh man. So of course, me being a then 7-year-old, getting the first taste of what it was like to be a fan of a team that you root for and they disappoint you. Yeah, it was bittersweet, and it was even more bittersweet when I saw the Phillies actually going to beat the Royals and win the World Series.
Yep.
But ever since then, I've always wanted to have the Astros get back at the Phillies, and 42 years later, we do, and it's on a bigger stage.
You now have your chance.
Yeah, and it's on a bigger stage.
You now have your chance.
Yeah.
Oh, brother.
Oh, and look, Wise. Congratulations to your Yankees, man. Look.
Oh, great season.
I can, I can act a fool and say, the Astros swept the Yankees. No, man. You all fought hard in Game 4. You all fought hard in Games 1 and 2 as well, man. It just wasn't your time. But the Yankees, you all fought, and the bats just got cold. And
listen,
it's unfortunate. I understand how it is, because look, that's how it was with the Astros last year in the World Series. The bats just got cold at the wrong time.
Yeah, and Wise also says I knew the Yankees would get swept. I mean, you're coming against a buzzsaw that had a hell of a bullpen.
Yeah.
Let me be real. You're coming against a buzzsaw that had a hell of a bullpen.
Yeah, had a great bullpen, and they had not 1, not 2, but 3 really good starting pitching performances in a row.
Yes. You can't fault the Yankees for fighting as hard as they did.
No.
And I won't either.
I'm not either.
As far as the Dodgers and the Mets go, see ya, and I wouldn't want to be ya. In the immortal words of one Wesley Snipes.
I sort of find it exhilarating that it's not the Dodgers and it's not the Mets.
I find that exhilarating also. I was looking for a rematch. Quite honestly, I was looking for a rematch between the Astros and the Braves, but Philadelphia said no.
No,
Philadelphia said, "Oh hell no!"
They're blazing. Ooh, man,
the Phillies are smoking hot.
It's like with the bats. If it's not Schwarber, it's Hoskins. If it's not Hoskins, it's Harper. And
congratulations to Bryce Harper.
Yes. People were maligning him and say he was a difference maker, and look at him. He makes his World Series debut now.
NLCS MVP. Congrats, Bryce Harper. And not only
he was the main reason why they got there. Yeah.
All the ballyhoo was about Julio Rodriguez. Will you take a look at Jeremy Pena? I'll say it again, and I'll say it loud and proud. Will you take a look at Jeremy Pena?
Oh, by the way, he is the current ALCS MVP. Yeah, that dude. Whew,
and
his bat is just been awesome late in games,
and one of few rookies to win the award. I know it's been a while since a rookie. I don't think a rookie's ever won the ALCS MVP.
I can't remember.
I don't think. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we're heading to Los Angeles. Why? There's a certain team that's 0 for the season, and I say the same about Philadelphia.
Oh, my bad.
Not yet. Damn it. I sound like Wise. We continue our glory ride on the Manic Monday edition of Snowman in the Morning. Back in a flash.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
TED Talk, but I don't have anything to talk about yet. I'm getting there.
Life is for the living. We're not here that long.
You can learn anything you want to learn without any money spent.
What do I really enjoy? What do I really want out of life?
I am your host, WIZE.
Are you in a life-holding pattern? Well, this is for you. Welcome to the Stuck in My Mind podcast.
Steph Curry.
Tim Anderson.
Jordan Alvarez.
And it's caught. Deebo Samuel with the catch.
Michael Jordan can sense it.
The Fro just got the king.
BS3 Network.
The hottest of hot takes. The coldest of cold hard facts. This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Weekdays at 8 a.m. Eastern. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure. Hey everybody, Snowman here, and thanks for listening to this episode of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Want to tell you about a little thing we like to call Monkey Knife Fight. Wait, what in the world is that, you may ask? Well, Monkey Knife Fight is a daily fantasy site where you can play your favorite games, support your favorite players, and make money at the same time. And right now, if you go to monkeyknifefight.com and use the code Snowman, you will get a 100% deposit match on up to $100 on your initial deposit. Go to monkeyknifefight.com and use the code Snowman for an up to 100% deposit on your first deposit of up to $100. Thanks, and tell them Snowman sent you.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Well, miss, you can go to Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, and Twitter. That's it's Fish SIT Morn. That's Fish SIT Morn on Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, and Twitter. You come back, y'all come back now, you hear?
Normally, I would get mad at someone for teasing my wife's Southern accent, but hey, I do it all the time. So, with Cole Johnson, this is the Snowman in the Morning. Let me push a button here.
Okay.
You know something?
Mm-hmm.
You know how we talked about a train wreck waiting to happen?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Well, there are two of them going on right now.
Oh, there are?
There are two of them going on right now. One in Los Angeles and one in Philadelphia.
Okay, so you're not talking about the Rams. They're not really a train wreck.
No.
You're not really
Rams
you're
are
not talking
fine.
about you're not talking about the Clippers. The Dodgers
Not
are
yet.
eliminated from the playoffs,
Not
but you're
yet.
not talking about them. All right. Oh, okay. Yeah. And as far as Phillies going, well, it's not the Phillies, it's not the Eagles. So
Nope. Both of them are fine.
Yeah.
Both of them are fine.
Okay. All right. I got you. Oh, and you not even talk about the Angels, which they are
No.
train wrecks, but you not even talk about them.
We know the Angels are a train wreck. That doesn't need to be said.
Right.
That does not need to be said.
Okay. I know. I've pinpointed the exact targets where you're about to fire these arrows at.
Yep. Let's save the low hanging fruit for later.
Okay.
The one in Los Angeles.
Okay.
Let's start in Philadelphia.
All right.
I'm
glad you're starting there.
Yeah.
You know, I saw something that was really interesting. Yeah, it was a
Did you peruse social media again, or did it peruse you?
I think it perused me.
Yeah. I saw that.
And so there was this picture of James Harden getting buck, and how he has that face where he's hyped.
A picture of James Harden. First of all, who the hell wants to look at a picture of James? I'm sorry, did I say that aloud?
And so
did I say that aloud? Yes, I did.
So there was
Ask me
this.
if I care. I don't.
So there was this post that I saw that came upon me that said, "Quote."
Oh boy.
In the first 2 games, James Harden has averaged 35 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists. Close quote. But there's only one problem with that.
3 L's, 3 problems.
Yeah, there's only 3 problems with that. And they start with the letter L.
Mm-hmm. And end with the letter S. And you put an O and an S in the middle, you got the word we're looking for. Loss!
I cannot stress enough how I really do believe that he can be an albatross on the team. I don't care if it's Doc Rivers. I don't care if it's Daryl Morey. It won't be Daryl Morey. But it has to be somebody on this team.
Of course it won't be Daryl Morey. They're trying to protect him like they did for a while in Houston.
There has to be somebody on this team that has to say to him, look, Joel Embiid is our meal ticket. Feed him before you want to get down and boogie and want to simply break ankles while you miss a step back step back 3.
Side note, meanwhile, my Dubs are 2-1. They played a great game against Denver, nearly wiped that deficit out.
Yeah.
And then they hung a 50 burger in the second period on the Sacramento Kings. On the Kansas City Kings. I'm sorry.
I haven't heard that in a minute.
I love both of their history, Kansas City and Sacramento. But see, I think they need to go back to Kansas City. More on that at a later date. Dear Joel Embiid, run like hell. Matter of fact, give me an email.
Oh, before you send this email,
Mm-hmm.
I want to instruct Mr. Embiid on his fellow countryman, Hakeem Olajuwon. You see, when there was this rookie named Sam Cassell that came upon the Rockets,
Sam, I am,
and I love Sam. I love Sam even then. Hakeem, after a timeout, and this was in a playoff game. After a timeout, they walk out on the court. Hakeem asked for the basketball, and the ref gave it to him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's corralling the basketball in one hand. He puts Sam in the other. And then you see Hakeem basically go,
see that?
Quote, you see this? And he points to basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, you see this? And he points to me and points to him. And then he says, give me, pointing to himself. And then he points to the ball. The ball.
Mm-hmm.
Close quote. That's what Embiid needs to do to Harden. And if it's on the court, so be it.
But see, the problem with that is, A, Sam listened. B,
yes,
Harden will not.
Mm-hmm. And Sam realized it. Yeah, and Sam realized he was going to get fed, and he did.
Now, what did I say once James Harden signed with Philadelphia? What did I say?
Oh yeah. You. I did a.
Did I not
on this.
Did I not call that the
if I were
moment
Joel Embiid, I'd run. Yes.
The next morning after we discussed that deal offline, what did I say? You can open the quote and say it.
Quote. If I were Joel Embiid, I'd run. Close quote.
And I also said this. Open it.
Quote.
Joel Embiid's MVP chances just went down the tubes.
Close quote, which it did.
Because Joel Embiid was he was
without question the number one player
I'm growling.
in the NBA at the time.
He was the number one player, the MVP going away.
Yeah.
Going away.
Yeah.
And Daryl Morey decided to bring a retread named James Harden onto the ball club. Yeah. How's that MVP campaign working out?
Oh, congratulations on winning a series. Oh, you've done that already.
Hell, the Sixers in 83 won more games in one playoff series than the Sixers have won in the last 3. Oops.
Oh my.
Not to mention that same year, 1983, they reached the conference finals where they beat the hell out of the Bucks.
Oh man, and the Bucks were a great team. They were a great team, but beat them in 5 games.
The Bucks were a defensive dynamo. The Bucks were
yeah. And didn't they come off of a sweep of the Celtics?
The Milwaukee Bucks.
And did they come off a sweep of the Celtics before that series?
And the Celtics were the defending conference champs.
Yes, they were.
No.
The Sixers were.
The Sixers were.
But the Bucks had issues with the Celtics in the playoffs too.
Always. They've always had issues with the Boston Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sidney Moncrief said, enough of this ish.
Yep.
We're taking care of them. And the Mecca in Milwaukee was off the charts.
Mm-hmm.
The Mecca in Milwaukee was stupid loud.
Yeah. That team was awesome. And the 76ers of 83 dismantled them.
I mean, took them apart.
Mm-hmm.
Took them apart.
Yeah.
Now,
whenever you're ready.
Let's I echo Negro Night here. Open it.
Oh, you want me to do a quote?
Yes.
All right.
Open
quote.
3,000 miles away in the city of angels, comma, the town that now belongs to King James.
I'm sorry.
Semicolon.
That was hilarious.
The Lakers stink. Hell, I've been saying the Lakers stink since the day LeBron signed with them, July 3rd, 2018.
Close quote.
Laker fan, hear me and hear me well. The Lakers stink.
Oh, that was going to be your email.
I got a few minutes. We got a few minutes. Give me an email. Quick.
There you go.
Laker fan. CC. Wrong. Detroit. BCC. Westbrook fan. Subject of email. They stink. Body of email.
Oh, I get to ease back and let you cook.
Mm-hmm. How can I put this succinctly? You Laker fans were tripping last year and now this year.
Hard.
You tripping. Okay? Let me say this with all the sincerity in my heart. The Lakers stink. LeBron stinks. Westbrook stinks. And I hate saying it, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. Anthony Davis stinks.
Bad.
You know why I'm saying they all stink?
Why?
Because they're not running the team the right way. And this is nothing against Darvin Ham. This is nothing against Darvin Ham.
No, he's just.
And I'm going to say something that's going to piss off a lot of Laker fans, but I don't care. The decisions that Darvin Ham is making of who to put on the floor are not coming from him.
Of course not.
They're coming from two people. One's last name is three. One's last name is Pelinka. One's last name is Bus.
And the other actually plays on the floor.
Yep. And you know the third one.
Mm-hmm.
You know the third one. Y'all stink. You can't shoot the ball. You're too afraid to acquire any shooters. Hell, you had a chance at two of the better ones, DeMar DeRozan and Buddy Hield, and you let them pass you by. Hell, DeMar DeRozan is having a renaissance in Chicago.
What?
And a renaissance.
What?
A comeback.
What?
Don't call it a comeback.
What?
He loves Chicago.
What?
He's producing.
What?
He's scoring.
What?
He's dishing.
What?
He's swishing.
What?
DeMar DeRozan is having a renaissance. And as LL Cool J expertly said, don't call it a comeback.
And Lakers fan.
You can't handle the truth.
Yep. You cannot and will not handle the truth. Because you live in this bubble. Big shot at 2020. Because you live in this bubble and you're not coming out of it.
Oh, thank you for the correction, Sick. Sorry about that.
And y'all are 0-3 to start the season. And James Worthy's not walking through that door anytime soon. Magic Johnson's not walking through that door anytime soon.
Nope.
Hell, the late great Jim Buss, Dr. Buss, he's rolling over in his grave.
Yeah, Jerry. Jim's still
Jerry
alive.
Buss, thank you. I haven't had any caffeine yet, but Jerry Buss is rolling in his grave. Jim Buss is laughing at your asses.
Basically.
Mm-hmm. Jim Buss said, okay, Jeannie, you want it? You got it. I'm out.
You're going to fight that hard for it. All right.
See ya. Wouldn't want to be you.
The governorship is yours, and so is the soap opera that's about to ensue.
And I'm glad Jim Buss has not had contact with them since.
Well, as a family, that would suck. But as a team, yeah.
Jim Buss basically said, I'm not dealing with this ish. I refuse. So get it right, Laker fans. Get it right, Bronsexuals, Westbrook fans. Even Carmelo Anthony wasn't having it. That's saying something.
Well, he didn't want to be a part of that anymore.
No.
and the
hell
fact,
no to the no.
And the fact that Russell Westbrook is still not, how can I say this, taking accountability for the fact that his skills are eroding right in front of everybody's very eyes. And he claims that he's still an elite starter when even his own head coach today looks at him and says, yeah, about that starter thing. I don't think so. I think you'd be better and more. I think you will serve the team better if you came off the bench. And he put messing up his, I think it was his hamstring. And he put mess up his hamstring to the fact that he, quote, can't really get into a rhythm being a bench player because I've been a starter for 14 years. Close quote.
Yeah.
Get TF out of here.
14 years of futility. Hey, Russell Westbrook, this part's for you. Remember when your shot left you in 2016 in the form of the Western Conference Finals?
Shot found him? Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. My bad.
You ain't found it. You ain't found it yet. I don't care how many times you rip off triple doubles, and we all know that situation.
Yes,
I don't care how many times you rip off a scoring title, how many times you put 50 points in at the end of the season. Your shot left you in 2016, and it ain't coming back.
It's been now almost 7 years. That's sad.
It's certainly not coming back here.
No.
Back to Laker fan. You dare not take a chance in trading Westbrook and that $40 million bloated ass salary for a chance to get some players, including Harrison Barnes. Remember, Harrison Barnes was on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Buddy Hield was on the table. DeMar DeRozan, hell, he thought he had an agreement until the Lakers pulled the plug. Stupid. You stupid.
Mm-hmm.
You stupid half-wit idiots.
Yes.
Let me say that again as my tired New York accent comes out. I didn't sleep last night, at least not well, but I'm here.
Yeah, join the club.
You stupid half-wit idiots. You had a chance to improve your team. You had a chance to tell LeBron, thank you. Now hit the road. Didn't do it, did you? Dumbasses. You had a chance to get DeMar DeRozan, who's a better forward than LeBron James. Now, I'm going to make my partner smile by repeating that, and I'm going to make him react like they do in church by saying it again. It goes like this. DeMar DeRozan is a better playing forward than LeBron James.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hell, I'll tease Wednesday by saying this. Someone challenged me to list 10 forwards that are better than LeBron James.
Ah, thank you. Hallelujah.
And all these people were bringing up stats.
Thank you, Jesus.
The NBA is obsessed with two things. And Adam Silver, this is your fault. I'll say it again. The NBA is obsessed with two things. And Adam Silver, this is your fault. Stars and stats. Meanwhile, they're playing the best brand of basketball in San Francisco. They're getting a better brand of basketball in Denver, Colorado. And don't be surprised if those two are the top two seeds and they meet in the Western Conference Finals and it goes all 7.
Thank you, Jesus.
Oh, I got more. Back to the challenge I got. Someone challenged me to name 10 forwards that are better than LeBron James. That's my list on Wednesday. And that's also a part of my Bron sexual confessions, but I will give you 2 of them right now. And these 2, I know are going to irk a lot of people. They're going to irk a lot of Bron sexuals. They're going to irk a lot of fans. But these 2 forwards I'm about to mention wore Seattle Supersonics green once upon a time, and my partner knows who they are, and I'm going to make him have a 3-foot smile on his face when I mention the names Jack Sikma and Tom Chambers.
Mm-hmm.
Thing on that while I get ready to roast you guys on Wednesday. Let's close this email. We got somebody waiting for us. Mr. Brian Snow of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson, a part of Snowman Digital Media.
Let's drink some coffee, shall we? The man who was in charge of No Credentials Required, as he sips coffee with us every single Monday at 8:35 a.m. Welcome, Ryan McCarthy. How you doing, brother?
That's a bittersweet morning up here in New York, but
bittersweet.
And Mr. McCarthy, hold out your hand a minute, please.
What's up?
Hold out your hand
a minute, please.
He has a receipt to pass you.
Oh, here you go.
JETS, Jets. Hot damn.
Wait. Bittersweet. Wait. The Jets won, the Giants won. How could it be bittersweet in the New York area?
Well,
because it wasn't a clean sweep.
For two reasons. For two reasons actually. Well, the Yankees, well, at least you tried. And secondly,
at least you tried.
Look, and I'm a Yankees fan too. So this is
not just say that aloud.
Look, I have to say this, Ryan.
Yeah,
I had to say this to you, and I would say this to Wise too, but I had to get this out to a Yankees fan. I found it absolutely funny that you had not you and not Wise, but Yankees fan were chanting, "We won Houston" on Tuesday.
Yep.
And then they chanted, "Sell the team" on Saturday. Oh, it was just glorious. It was glorious.
You know, I'm starting a campaign that I know.
It's not just Cowboys. Certain Cowboys fans who are idiots. There's Yankees fans like that too.
Oh man, look, there are some
Yankee
they are fans that are idiots.
There are. I live with one.
Yeah.
Yes.
There are some Yankee fans that are idiots.
I live with one.
There are Cub fans that are idiots. Good God.
Yeah, I live with a Yankees fan, and yes,
freaking grief.
That dude was absolutely. He only could see anything and everything in Navy.
Yeah, or pinstripes.
Or pinstripes. Why does that sound familiar?
Look, there are times that you have to put down the pinstripe colored glasses and see what's on the field. Aaron Boone, for all the success he's had, I feel it's manufactured success based on all the and Snowman, you are absolutely 100% correct in this. The analytics part, launch angle and exit velocity, and always looking for a fastball.
Yeah, hold on. About that, Ryan. Why in the world was he complaining about wind after game 2? I'm like, you play at least half of your games outdoors. How are you complaining about the fact that, yes, Minute Maid Park, they could close the roof and open the roof, but why are you complaining about wind?
Because he needed an excuse. He needed an excuse to explain for a loss and to go down 2-0 in a crucial series, which could potentially see them go to the World Series. But even if
I thought that was hollow for him.
That was super hollow. And again, every rational Yankee fan could see through that lame excuse. Like, no,
I mean,
the reason why you lost is
did
because
you say the word rational?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
You said the word rational, did you not?
Yeah.
I did.
And thank the Lord that Ryan is rational. Yeah.
Thank the Lord.
Rational Ryan. See the alliteration there. It works.
Great alliteration.
Thank the Lord we have rational fans that come on the show. Let's go to the Fanatics feedback. Let's go to the Fanatics feedback zone. Jordan Zavi along with us. Yankee fans were humble. Get ready for a new manager. I think
that's going to happen too.
I doubt
eventually.
it. He signed. He signed. They give him They give him an extension after last year.
Oh,
he's having to a new contract.
But why says Boone has to go?
I hope so.
I agree with that.
See, I mentioned in the chat, I think maybe last week or a week before. I said, nah, he's staying. He's gonna be in pinstripes. I said a week before, maybe I said a week before or 2 weeks before. I said Hal Steinbrenner does not have the passion that his dad did.
Oh, not even close.
George, God bless
not
Mr.
even
Steinbrenner.
Close. You
God
already
rest
know.
his soul.
If Boone had 2 years under George Steinbrenner, he'd have been lucky.
He would have been fired he would have been fired to August this year when they had that really bad month.
He'd have been before. He'd have been fired by the All-Star break.
Yeah,
he would have been. He would not have contract renewed last year.
Yeah, for 52 to 18 to this. Oh no, you got to go.
He'd have been fired. He'd have been fired after Jose Altuve's walk-off.
Oh yeah, Hal basically is not necessarily as
he's a bottom line dude.
Sport it's not necessarily as sound as in the sport itself.
Mm-hmm.
But he basically is the baseball equivalent to Gerald Jones, where he will excuse if the team has the ultimate success. If the team has some, he'll be fine with it as long as the bottom line is correct and the team keeps making money.
Right.
Who does that sound like again?
Gerald
Jones.
Hey,
Gerald, get the hell away from the team and stay out.
And
if Hal had his druthers, he'd be flying his private airplane. He'd be flying his private airplane all over the place instead of running the Yankees. I don't think he even wanted to be an owner after his father passed, given the team.
See, and you know who I feel for? John Sterling. I feel for John Sterling. Here's why.
If this is his last season, I didn't want it to be like that.
No.
I hope it's not.
Not with this type of
I
season.
hope it's not his last season, but you got to look at the fact that the last few years the Yankees have had a chance to really make a dent. They didn't.
No.
And speaking of Yankees possibly not making a dent, with Jordan Savvy, do you believe that yesterday was the last game as a Yankee for Aaron Judge?
I doubt it. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before in terms of where ex-Yankees go, or who are homegrown Yankees go. I know he's from the West Coast. He's from California. I suspect he'd probably want to play closer to home, but with those taxes, I don't know about that.
No.
I mean, not that New York City's is better, but
may I
comparatively,
I'm going to say this the way my daughter would say it. Yeah, no. Carmen, baby, as well as Cheyenne, that's for you.
I've said this. I've said this over the summer, and this is coming from an Astros fan. Judge, I think, is the quintessential legacy Yankee. I mean, he checks all the boxes, and to me, the Yankees would be absolutely stupid to not throw everything they have at him to keep him.
Yeah, that's what the same situation when Derek Jeter was a free agent. I think 2011.
Mm-hmm.
There was some talk about him going elsewhere, but he wound up staying with the team. So I compared to that situation. Derek Jeter, by the way, the greatest minor league athlete to come through the Albany, New York area, number one on my list.
I could agree with that.
It's on my episode. It's on No Credentials Required a couple months back. So go ahead and listen to that. Not now, but after the show. Not now.
And Wise agrees with me. He says no, Judge doesn't want to leave in such a negative way. I don't think he does either.
No, there's so much left. There's one more planet that Aaron Judge has to conquer. That's a World Series. It's bringing a World Series title to the
New York. Yeah, to the Bronx. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I don't think I want to leave like that.
No. Meanwhile, the playmaker says, "Nah, nah, 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 nah. Hey, goodbye." Oh, that's cold.
Rude.
Man. That is
rude.
Cold.
Morning playmaker from Victor Locke. Top of the morning, everyone. I'm sorry, I pushed it, but top of the morning, everyone from the playmaker.
Hey, playmaker.
We'll have
that's appropriation, dude. Come on. Appropriation.
That's us not being professional this morning.
We're not being professional this morning.
Such a negative way. Let's welcome Rod West.
How you doing,
morning,
Rod?
fellas. Good morning, Rod. Subscribe to the channel and drop a like if you haven't done so already. Ryan McCoffey joining us this morning,
and
as he does every Monday morning. Now,
Wise don't like what playmaker.
Cold damn playmaker. Yep. One of my favorite Victor's is one of my favorite players of all time, and I got to do Bob Shepard. Number 2, Derek Jeter. Number two.
So my other bitter.
That is my favorite one.
See, why does it sound like when Bob Shepard made that introduction, or he introduced the Yankees, even though he's a native New Yorker through and through? God bless you, Bob Shepard. You can hear the New York accent come out, but when he introduced guys like Jeter and Paul O'Neill and Mariano Rivera, why did it sound like he had an accent? I'm talking about a foreign accent.
It was like he wanted to sound exceedingly proper.
Yeah.
All right, coming to the bat or patio boy. It's Paul O'Neill. He wears number 21.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like, and that's the exact accent, and that's the exact accent. It sounds like it sounds Irish.
Yeah,
am I wrong?
Well,
it sounds Irish, but
O'Neill is Irish.
Him being so proper, Bob Shepard being so proper, like you said.
Yep.
You can hear it, especially when he introduced either Jeter or Jorge Posada or Reggie Jackson or Mariano Rivera. You can hear him enunciate.
Yeah.
Everything. Number 42. Mariano Rivera with that song that I love so dearly for Mariano Rivera.
Enter Sandman.
Enter Sandman. And he
don't
only
know
had
any
one
other Metallica song, but my co-workers don't know any other Metallica song. But if I do any of the Enter Sandman, they'll be the first ones to just be piped up and singing the lyrics to it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh! Oh, I'm sorry, Ryan. You said that
something else
the York area was bittersweet for two reasons. You mentioned the first one. What's the second one?
The other bittersweet thing is that we could possibly see Breece Hall not play another down in the NFL this season, and that breaks my heart because he's
he was man.
Talented.
He was he was nails yesterday too. Oh man. Oh, and Iron Eagle. He gave him the nickname that I like.
Breece Lightning.
That was awesome.
Breece Lightning.
That was awesome. I was like, doggone it, Iron, you do it again. You did it again.
But that's Iron Eagle.
Breece Lightning. I was like, that was beautiful.
That's Iron Eagle.
That's absolute gold. And dang, man, I don't want Breece Hall to be gone for the year.
Me neither.
Oh,
neither do I.
Breece is one of my favorite backs to watch.
But you know what though? They got Michael Carter in the backfield too, and he's a good running back too. I think they'll do fine. They'll do all right.
The running game will be okay,
right? But it won't have that extra element of power.
Right. It's next level with Breece Hall. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yes. I'm praying it's not a tear. I'm praying it's not an ACL tear.
Same here.
But they said they're going to do tests today and hope and also Elijah Vera Tucker. He might be. I don't know how long he'll be gone. He left the game yesterday, and he's He's the main cog of that offensive line. He was basically their MVP this season until he left the field yesterday. So I'm hoping the best, fearing the worst for both those guys.
But Robert Saleh, for those who don't know, head coach of the Jets. Yeah, he actually said about Breece Hall's a prognosis is the initial diagnosis isn't good. But I'm hoping that it's not a tear either.
Yeah,
I'm hoping for that.
So I got one more thing before I depart, gentlemen.
Shoot,
so
sir.
I had this thought the other day, and the Jets playing Denver yesterday, and Russell Wilson was not in the lineup. But I kind of had a thought in my back of my mind about Russell Wilson, and as much success as he's had both commercially and on the field, I kind of compared him to a particular boxer. In Hollywood boxer in terms of movies. I thought about him, and I think he's in the part of his career where he's Rocky 3. He's Rocky and Rocky 3 because he's an underdog guy. He North Carolina from North Carolina State to Wisconsin, was kind of unheralded as a draft pick. I think he was a 6th round pick, if I'm not mistaken, or a 5th round pick. He was a late round pick.
He was somewhere low like that. Yeah.
Yes, 4th or 5th round pick for the Seahawks. And nobody really thought of him, as he's kind of an afterthought. But he had early success. He won an early Super Bowl, and he went to another Super Bowl, lost that one.
I'm sorry, 3rd round.
3rd round. Okay, so so not too high of a pick. But he had a success, and he tried to get back to where he was and now he's in the time of his career where you don't know what he is. I mean, we know what he is, but we don't know where he is, especially with that system that Nathaniel Hackett is running. And I will be shocked if he still has a job today.
He has a system?
Apparently. I mean, throwing spaghetti on a wall and see if it sticks,
and crossing his fingers and it sticks. Yeah. I think that is the
question he's asking. What the hell is that?
I just I was becoming increasingly upset with people wanting to say that Russell Wilson was cooked and he was old and he was over the hill and past his prime and past his time. And I said, do you see this offense that he's trying to run? It sucks.
Now with another quarterback playing, Trevor Siemian playing yesterday, it didn't matter. It didn't matter.
No,
it doesn't matter who plays quarterback.
Right, and that's my point too, Ryan. It's like it doesn't matter what quarterback is running that offense. It's horrible.
Yeah, and I'm hearkening back to a particular head coach who coached the New York Jets for 2 god-awful seasons in 2019 and 2020. I won't mention his name, but you know who he is.
You're not talking about Rich Kotite. I'm sorry.
No, I'm not. No. I barely bring up his name.
Kotite.
Yeah.
But I know you're mentioning.
But going back to Rocky, you think about Rocky, he was thanks, Cole. But you think about Rocky, Rocky, guy who came out of nowhere, got selected to fight Apollo Creed in Rocky 1. Loses the title in Rocky 1. Wins the title in Rocky 2. Rocky 3 gets all these cupcakes opponents. He's getting commercial success. You kind of don't know where he is. Then he gets smacked in the mouth by Clubber Lang.
Right.
And Mickey dies also, but which is which also very tragic. But
right.
And if you haven't seen the Rocky movies, spoiler alert, I forgot to mention that. But kind of a correlation of both Rocky and Russell Wilson. Rocky kind of lost that drive. He lost that passion. And I don't know if it's the same for Russell Wilson. I know he wants to win, but who be Clubber Lang in this scenario? That's a good question. I think the AFC West is the Clubber Lang in this situation, or Nathaniel Hackett is the Clubber Lang because
here you go. That's
Nathaniel Hackett is Clubber Lang.
There you go.
So, Rocky kind of lost his way, like with being all his commercials, having those cupcake opponents. You see Russell Wilson being all his commercials, kind of having it easy in Seattle with Pete Carroll as his coach. So I don't know. It's a thread. It's a thought thread I had in the back of my mind. I don't know if it sticks with anybody. But that's the way
and getting a title with a glorified defense. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's the thought I had. I might write it down, turn it into an article later. But I don't know if it resonated with anybody else about Rocky Balboa and Russell Wilson having that correlation. But that's just my thought. But
I'll put it to you this way. It doesn't matter. It could be Brett Rippon. It could be Trevor Siemian. It could be Joe Flacco. Heck, it could be Cam Newton. I don't care who you put under center for the Broncos right now. In the Nathaniel Hackett offense, it's just going to be tragic.
Yep.
It's horrible.
Sam Darnold, Sam Darnold, Nick Falk, Joe Flacco.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of other quarterbacks who came through the New York Jets in that era, in the error.
Reign of error.
Yeah.
Reign of error.
But yeah.
But here's the funny common thread between that 2 years of the coach that we won't mention with the Jets and Nathaniel Hackett. Both of them got their head coaching positions because they sat at the side of an elite quarterback when they were offensive coordinator, and everybody said, "Oh, so you must be the reason why so-and-so is successful." Well, we want you to sprinkle the pixie dust on our squad.
Oh God. I won't mention the name either that the Jets had as head coach for 2 awful years.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's like okay, I won't. Okay, I'm gonna shut. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it.
Don't.
No, I'm not gonna say it.
A lot of cuss words will follow it.
Actually, you know what's funny is that I don't know if you guys noticed this yesterday, but
Rex Ryan.
No,
I loved Rex Ryan.
No,
I'm a Rex Ryan. I'm a Rex Ryan stan.
I love Rex Ryan too. I'm sorry, man.
But Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady losing to backup quarterbacks on the same day, I think it's the first time ever.
Mm-hmm.
And Brady lost to a third stringer. Oh, this is so glorious.
Glorified.
I got to ask who. I'm gonna chat with of some good friends of mine. They asked who is PJ Walker. And I was like, oh, PJ Walker, he played in the XFL. He was one of the best quarterbacks in the XFL.
He probably was the best talent when the XFL was running that year.
Yes. Yeah. And he earned himself an NFL contract after Carolina saw him in 2020. So spring football works, folks.
Yes.
Spring football does work.
It is important.
Just ask Taylor Heineke, just ask PJ Walker, was Taylor Heineke, I think, played the XFL too, or did he play AAF? I'm trying to remember which one he played for, but spring football works.
I think it's AAF.
AAF. Okay.
Which spring football works.
Which unfortunately died and ain't coming back. We're headed to the top of the hour. This, my friends, is Ryan McCorfey.
And congratulations to your Jets, bro. 5-2.
Congrats to the Jets.
Awesome, man.
And a lot of people, and Vegas had the odds of the Jets go 5.5 games this year. They're already at 5. If they win another one, definitely give those receipts. Come on.
I already handed you.
Oh no, not you. I meant like football pundits in general.
Yeah.
Especially that Brady Quinn, especially that Brady Quinn guy, and he said the Jets would go over for the first 9 weeks.
Brady Quinn, he actually has a job.
Who the hell is Brady Quinn? Oh, never mind. I know.
You know, handsome guy, Notre Dame, top draft pick, played 4 games in the NFL.
Yeah. Oh, you mean that
looks horrendous with the Browns? Yes, I know Brady Quinn.
And the Broncos.
I did not know he had a job.
And a very short time with the Jets.
Very, very short.
Oh no.
All right, Mr. McCoffey.
A cup of coffee with the Jets.
A cup of coffee with the Jets.
A short cup of coffee. All right, McCoffee. Thank you so much. We love you, brother.
Always, brother.
Thanks,
Check out
guys.
No Credentials Required.
Live tomorrow night, 7:00. Victory Monday, probably tonight at 8:45. If you want to check it out, talk about the Jets win.
If I'm not out cold, I'll chime in.
All right.
I just gotta get my body. I gotta get my body reset. Thank you, Ryan. We love you.
Guys.
We appreciate you.
Have a ball, celebrate, man.
Will do.
Hour number 2 of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson begins right now. On your mark, get set, let's go.
Cause we take this job so serious.
All of it, between 2 people and 4 nostrils, all of it was gone.
LeBron James is pure, unadulterated trash as a basketball player and has been for 20 years.
We don't want to see.
Wait a minute. We don't want to see.
The cap, bro. Number 420. Why is the El Jefe? Number 420.
I had to do it. Oh man, I thought I missed it.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Yes, it's Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
Hour number 2 of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson on a Monday continues on with Brian Snow. I am Cole Johnson. Let's show some love to the chat, shall we? Before we continue.
Please.
Rod West, he says Astros in 5 and Jets are gonna get blown out by the Patriots. Well, the first part,
the Jets are gonna beat the Patriots.
Yeah,
I think the Jets are gonna beat the ever-loving blank off the Patriots.
And it looks like it's trouble in paradise with the quarterback situation in New England. Playmaker says, well, after Y said no need to twist a blade, Playmaker said wait till tomorrow and a possible Wednesday.
Same here.
Yeah. And he goes on to say that he has some things to say. Wyatt says, I haven't mentioned that Seattle's in first place in AFC West. I will mention it.
I will mention it.
I thought you said the Chargers were going to, I thought Wyatt, you and Brian, I thought you said the Chargers were going to win yesterday.
I thought they were going to blow out Seattle, and hold on.
I
hold out your hand.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
there you go. Accept this receipt, please.
I appreciate that. Look, I told you I don't trust Brandon Staley. He puts his teams in bad positions, and he shouldn't have.
Boy, did he ever!
And he did it again yesterday. And I'm like, jeez, man. Vidalot
Boy,
says,
did he ever!
Yeah, Vidalot says, Enter Sandman is one of the most recognized guitar openings besides War Pigs. Correct. I agree with you on that, Vic. Cole says, I once dated a Metallica fan. I played Saint Anger because nothing else matters. I also like Saint Anger too. Deet says,
third round pick by Seattle.
Yeah, Wilson was picked in third round by Seattle. He said the quarterback that actually was there playing for the Broncos yesterday was Brett Rippon. Playmaker says, don't worry, Wise. That in the Pacific Northwest will be mentioned tomorrow with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 angry face emojis. And why? Because his Rams are looking up at the Seahawks. in the NFC West. Rod West says Jimmy G choked against the Chiefs, and the offense looks terrible. I won't go that far. I won't go that far and say the offense looks terrible.
Let me tell you that one. That Chiefs defense was a monster yesterday after they got down 10-0.
Yeah. I won't say the offense looks terrible. I would say more along the lines of I think the offense needs to get more in sync with each other.
Yeah.
Now and considering that they were out of sorts a bit and they still put up 23 points, that's actually a positive sign, really.
And they faced a defense that really got their act together,
especially in the second half, man. I mean,
that's the
Frank Clark and Chris Jones were
they terrorized
Garoppolo's backside.
They terrorized Garoppolo in the offense.
Oh my god!
Which here we go.
Okay,
there you are.
Thank you.
That's for Kansas City.
Yeah,
if that's the case. I pity the fool called Nathaniel Hackett. I don't pity Nathaniel Hackett. Nathaniel Hackett needs to be out of a job.
Yeah, I agree. Deet says Denver's in last place in their division, and Pete Carroll has the Seahawks at the top of theirs. Who would imagine we would be saying that at any point in the season? Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Especially the Pete Carroll having the Seahawks in first place.
The Pete Carroll half of the equation.
Victor Locke, you will not cuss. You will not cuss. You will not cuss. I could picture Brian actually saying that about well, no, I could picture saying it twice. Once at about maybe 3:30 p.m. yesterday.
Yep.
And one at about maybe 6:15 p.m. yesterday.
And I woke up groggier than hell.
And I know, I know the missus was saying this about 3 p.m. yesterday.
She didn't listen. She cussed.
Oh, I'm sure.
She cussed.
Abe Pizzo, good morning to you too, sir. Oh my gosh. And Wise says, yeah, not me about the Jets only winning 5.5 games. He says I had them winning more games, which that is true.
Mm-hmm.
Wise basically put me on game about the Jets.
Yeah,
because I'll admit that I didn't think the Jets was going to be this successful. I figured they would be more successful than they were last year, but I didn't think they were going to be this successful. I mean, undefeated on the road still.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think I know who Rod West is. Yeah, I know exactly who that is.
I do too, because of this.
I know because
because of this. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, now when we come back, I'm gonna have to push a button.
Okay, well, I'm
gonna push. Victor Locke responds, maybe MVP in a wing eating contest. Not even that. Not even that.
Yeah, I agree. No. Put that back there. There's a reason why I have that up there. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, that's great. I'm glad that you feel as though in 2023, LeBron James is going to win the MVP of the NBA.
I don't remember asking you a thing.
6 says, I understand that old chicken wing James can't handle the hot sauce. Well, looks like that's
wangs.
Wangs.
Not wings. Wangs.
And I agree with Ryan. I'm like, yeah, the Patriots have to have a 6-day turnaround, and that's going to be tough against a Jets team that's rolling.
Well, they basically have an off week tonight.
Good point.
They have an off week tonight. They're playing the Bears, for God's sakes.
Tell you. That's at Foxborough, right?
Yes.
Yeah, a home game against the Bears.
A home game against the Bears, who suck ass.
Bad.
I mean, really bad. All right, take a break. When y'all come back, there's a button I have to push in response to Rod. And that is the only reason I'm going to disobey Wise. And I know it's Monday. That's the only reason I'm going to disobey him. This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Back in the deuce.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey everybody, Snowman here. I have a way for you to support our humble little morning show and support your favorite team and or player at the same time. All you have to do is go to officialsitmorn.com/fanatics. That's right, officialsitmorn.com/fanatics. With the NFL on the way, as well as Major League Baseball heading into its playoff stage, you can support your favorite player and or team, and you can also support this morning show, as Fanatics is an affiliate sponsor of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Just head on over to officialsitmorn.com/fanatics and you can support your favorite team and or player. Fanatics, where sports fans shop. And when you go there, tell them Snowman sent you. Thanks.
I want to show that attainability. I want to show the accessibility of this kind of lifestyle.
From social media to having conversations with friends and family, you always have to put on face and say face.
What brings a smile to my face is the one person that totally believes in me, and that's my beautiful wife, Jody.
I just had to stop because I didn't value myself. I didn't love myself. And it's like, I have to learn to love myself.
Changing the world one conversation at a time. This is Revelations.
For Steph Curry, Tim Anderson, Jordan Alvarez, and it's caught. Debo Samuel with the catch.
Michael Jordan can sense.
The throw just got the king.
BS3 Network.
The hottest of hot takes. The coldest of cold hard facts. This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Weekdays at 8 a.m. Eastern. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure. Discouragement, sorrow, distance. Your arguments cause damage to your family. The hurt leads to divorce. You feel like there is nowhere else to turn. But there is hope for you. That's where we come into play. There is an overcomer that lives inside of you. One ready to take on the world as you leap for joy, living in victory. You'll grow to love yourself and others. There's life after divorce, and you can claim it today. Get Over Divorce, where your new story begins here every Thursday on YouTube and Spreaker. 'Cause we take this job so serious.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
Now batting, the man that we need to help lick his wounds from yesterday. The proud Yankee fan that we all come to know and love. Number 420, Wise El Jefe.
Numero 420.
Numero 420.
Yeah, I had to stop this because you're letting Rod. Good morning, my brothers. You're letting Rod. He's.
Can we play that? Can we play the Seals again? Please?
You let Rod
Wise
get you to talk about him?
Rod, we take this job so serious.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
It's a trap. It was a trap.
It was a trap. And there's this frivolity. No, they're not.
It's a trap. He caught you. No.
Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Whoa. Hold on. Yeah, well, hold it. Really?
What trade? Nobody wants to trade. Nobody wants Westbrook.
Who wants to go to the Lakers now? Seriously.
Nobody wants West. Who are they going to trade? Who are they going to trade? Anthony Davis?
Go to the Lakers.
Who the hell wants to play there?
Who are they going to give up?
Anthony Davis? Because don't nobody want Westbrook.
Nobody wants any members of this team the way they are now.
Newsflash: Wise El Jefe is about to open for Redman and Method Man at the House of Blues tonight. Now, I wonder why he would say such a thing.
Actually, I've been clean for like I would say 6 days now.
Up to the sky. Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking the wrong words.
Bitch, are you for real?
Yeah, I'm for real. Believe me, I am. I've been chilling. I've been behaving.
I was about to say, so why here to be on your best behavior?
How was Virginia? How was Virginia?
Yeah, how was VA?
It was great.
Good.
It was great. My niece looked beautiful.
Awesome,
got to meet her future husband. He's a great dude. He's a pastor.
Awesome.
So I had a great time.
Cool. That's awesome.
Wise.
Oh, and
I got
before you go, your mother-in-law, how's she doing?
She's doing much better.
Good.
She had surgery Friday. She's good. She had a cast on her wrist, and they performed tying up the ligaments in her elbow, so she's doing good.
I saw the episode that you did from the car on Thursday.
Yes.
And as far as the New York Jets and Giants go, hold out your hand, please.
Oh yeah, I need my receipts for all that.
Yep. Here you go.
I need all that because I did call the Jets.
That's one for the Jets.
I called my Giants, of course.
Here's one for the Giants.
And I did say the Yankees were going to get swept.
Yeah, that's why I'm not begging for a receipt from you because
I did call the Yankees. I did say the Yankees were going to get swept.
Yeah, because I was trying to talk you off the. I was trying to talk you off the sweep ledge. I remember that.
You wasn't talking me off no sweep ledge because I know.
People were asking why, and I said it in 2 words: no pitching.
It's not even pitching, man. It was the fact.
The
It was
best guy was absolutely stone cold.
It was the fact that he was making some bad decisions.
Oh yeah, and Boone from the
Boone made some horrible decisions.
Like in game 2. Man, Severino was cooking on the mound.
He took him out.
Why take him out when he was still cooking and the Astros really didn't solve him?
Took him out.
Jameson
Taillon, first game 1, 4 innings, pitched well. Didn't give up much. As soon as he switched to the bullpen,
the Astros jumped on him. Yeah, and to me, that's why I love the Astros is they will take advantage of weaknesses. And to me, the Yankees bullpen was a weakness.
I knew this since August when we had that big swoon. That bullpen was horrible, and we kept relying on home runs.
But I will say this. This isn't directed to you, Wise, because you're actually one of the few rational Yankee fans that I've ever met. Same with Ryan. But
this actually rational.
Yeah, this actually goes to people like one of my former roommates. It was a joy and a half to hear Yankees fan in Yankee Stadium chant. What was it? Oh yeah. Quote, "We want Houston. We want Houston." Close quote.
I told you I didn't want Houston.
On Tuesday.
I knew I didn't want Houston.
And then they chanted, quote, "Sell the team, sell the team." Close quote. In the same stadium on Saturday.
Oh no!
I divorced knowing you in that instance. I was just looking at the dumb Yankees fans. That made me have a bright smile on my face when I was hearing them say that.
Listen,
Aaron
Boone needs to get fired.
Mm-hmm.
I love Brian Cashman,
but he won't get fired.
He needs to go.
Mm-hmm.
Some big change needs to happen because I can't see the Yankees being happy
and it's
basically hitting the brick wall known as the Astros, and they keep hitting it and they don't advance further.
And the changes have got to start at the top. You got to get some baseball competent people in there to flip this around for the Yankees.
Oh, I would love for them to fire Boone and bring Donnie Baseball back to the Bronx. That's
Manning,
what I would
fit. Don Manley to coach the Yankees. I mean, to be the manager of the Yankees.
I would love that.
Wouldn't be a bad thing.
That's a dream come true for me to have Donnie Baseball come back home.
To have number 23 back in pinstripes.
That wouldn't be a bad thing.
Did they retire his number?
Yeah,
did they retire Mattingly's number?
They retired.
Nobody wears.
So how come Donnie Baseball's not in the Hall of Fame? we
you have to
answer
ask the
that?
writers that because my man, former
Johnny
MVP,
Baseball needs
and
to
if
be
it
in the Hall
wasn't for
of
the
Fame.
back issues, if it wasn't for his back issues,
Yeah,
he would have had
he would have had at least 4 rings.
I think he pays. Unfortunately, I think he pays the price for being that legacy Yankee at that time, being the poster child for. Well, remember, this is the bridge between the Reggie Jackson era Yankees and the Derek Jeter era Yankees, and they look at that 15-year period where the Yankees barely made a dent in the playoffs once.
The funny thing is,
and he pays the price for it. It's unfair though, because Manley was one of the best players in the American League for many years.
funny thing is, the Yankees had the most wins in the American leagues in the 80s, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. They were winners. They just weren't champions. And Manley
and Tony Armas.
Yeah.
Listen, there were a couple of years, 3 years straight, that Donnie Baseball and Tony Armas from the Red Sox were battling for the hitting champion for the batting title.
Oh, before you continue, Playmaker, this is for Negro Night. You idiot. This is why you should follow the NBA and a little bit of the NFL. Because when it comes to Major League Baseball, sir, you are an idiot. You are a straight up Yankees fan. How dare you say the Yankees will beat the Astros in 7? What type of idiocy is that? Because I wanted to drive up there to the New York studios and say to you right then and there on First Take,
Bitch, are you for real?
Beautiful.
Son, please.
Let's take another break. And when y'all get back, I'm going to press a button, and then Jay Spivey will join us at the bottom of the hour.
What's up, Wise?
And
that's a word we use often. Son.
What's that?
Son.
Oh, son.
Yeah. What up, son?
What's up, son?
Snowman in the Morning with Wise El Jefe and Cole Johnson back in the deuce.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey everybody, Snowman here. I have a way for you to support our humble little morning show and support your favorite team and or player at the same time. All you have to do is go to officialsitmorn.com/fanatics. That's right, officialsitmorn.com/fanatics. With the NFL on the way, as well as Major League Baseball heading into its playoff stage, you can support your favorite player and or team, and you can also support this morning show, as Fanatics is an affiliate sponsor of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Just head on over to officialsitmorn.com/fanatics and you can support your favorite team and or player. Fanatics, where sports fans shop. And when you go there, tell them Snowman sent you. Thanks.
I want to show that attainability. I want to show the accessibility of this kind of lifestyle.
From social media to having conversations with friends and family, you always have to put on face and save face.
What brings a smile to my face is the one person that totally believes in me, and that's my beautiful wife, Jody.
I just had to stop because I didn't value myself. I didn't love myself. And it's like, I have to learn to love myself.
Changing the world one conversation at a time. This is Revelations.
Of course, Steph Curry, Tim Anderson, Yordan Alvarez, and it's caught. Debo Samuel with the catch.
Michael Jordan consents.
The Fro just got the king.
BS3 Network.
The hottest of hot takes. The coldest of cold hard facts. This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Weekdays at 8 a.m. Eastern. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure. Discouragement, sorrow, distance. Your arguments cause damage to your family. The hurt leads to divorce. You feel like there is nowhere else to turn. but there is hope for you. That's where we come into play. There is an overcomer that lives inside of you, one ready to take on the world as you leap for joy, living in victory. You'll grow to love yourself and others. There's life after divorce, and you can claim it today. Get Over Divorce, where your new story begins here every Thursday on YouTube and Spreaker. 'Cause we take this job so serious.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Yes, it's Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
Welcome back to Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson and Wise El Jefe. I am Cole Johnson, and in 10 minutes, we're going to roast Tom Brady. I'm sorry. My bad. I didn't mean to say that.
Yes, you did, because I was going to say it. I was going to say it.
As Jay Spivey and Spivey Notes joins us, and we'll talk about the Panthers' home victory against the Buccaneers. That offense is atrocious.
The Tampon Bay Buccaneers.
And speaking of receipts, whoever said the Panthers, I'll hand this to you all because I did not see that one coming.
Same. All right. Why is you gonna get mad at me? But Cole, push the button.
Oh Lord.
I got about 8 minutes.
All right. Here we go. Not that one.
In a world where partial greatness is celebrated and total greatness is shunned, there stands to be a figure on the lips of those who love him and those who hate him. The inane comparisons to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant continue and has existed since 2003. There is no end in sight, for the battle between those who unconditionally love and unconditionally hate him wages on. These are their stories. Welcome to the Bronzexual Confessions.
Wise thoughts?
I'm waiting to hear Wise ask me a question.
But it's Monday. Why would I ask you a question? It's Monday, but you want to get trapped? That's fine. It's fine.
Well, I guess with that being said,
this is gonna drive me to smoke, but that's all right. That's all right.
And drink.
And now you've put a bright, wide smile on Brian's face. It's as if you have told him the 49ers have won the Super Bowl. But with that being said, sir, go ahead and cook.
As I was perusing social media.
Really? Oh, good Lord.
I told you I need to stop.
Thank you, Wise. There is a photo in a couple of groups. And this photo has the countdown on of LeBron chasing Mr. Abdul-Jabbar.
Bitch, please.
Thank you. You know what the picture reads? Open it.
All right, it reads, quote,
chasing greatness.
Oh, that's sort of
countdown to the greatest scorer ever. Now, Sean Murgan.
Close quote. Hold on before you continue. Greatest score ever.
Hell no. To the no.
He's about to be like Russell Westbrook. Can't hit the sound of a ball.
No.
Fair use.
Great score, my ass.
Greatest score, Lord. Okay.
It's got Kareem's total and it's got LeBron's total.
They actually have like a clock down ticker.
Nope.
Oh, good Lord. Okay.
1,244 points away. Sean Mergen, as I lean back in my chair, who gives a flying blank? And he said this, open it.
Lord. Quote.
A tough loss for the Lakers, period. But another great game from the GOAT.
Close quote. Spoken like a true bronze sexual. The utter blasphemy. No, but I'm going to save that for Wednesday.
Thank you.
Put it up.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
You know what? Put it up and just say the last line.
All right.
I'm sorry, Wise.
It's bad enough my Yankees lost, right? It's bad enough they lost. And now I got to deal with a bronze sexual confessions on a Monday. Manic Monday.
Well,
and your point is?
Well, it's it might. I think Brian is like, well, it's your fault for doing a good bronze sexual confession yourself on a Friday.
Yes, but
I'm not placing.
I don't always do bronze sexual confessions. So when I do get one out,
it's a special one. Yeah,
we're gonna fix that.
I agree.
Not if you keep doing them on Mondays.
Okay, so
like I said, we're gonna fix that.
All right, so I will.
Another great game from the GOAT. Are you out of your rabbit ass rat picking mind?
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
That it is. I don't know what you've been smoking, drinking, eating, or whatever.
But it is like you said. They believe the following.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, LeBron James is still the best basketball player in the world.
She only has 4 rings on there, right?
Cole.
He only has 4 rings on there.
Yes, sir.
Give me the camera back and do your thing.
Okay. Oh, Lord. Look, bronze sexual.
You know your damn role and shut your damn mouth.
I got 60 seconds, but I will finish with this. LeBron James ain't the greatest. He never will be the greatest. He sucks. He's trash. He ain't a good basketball player. Never has been. Now get out my face, you thirsty bitches.
Let's go home with this. LeBron James about to break Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's record.
In a world where logic and sense flies completely out the window, while purple and yellow glasses are donned, rises a figure who encourages ridiculous, undying loyalty.
So sorry, why?
Good Lord, I'm about to throw up. This has been yet another installment of The Bronzexual Confessions.
Now, Jay Spivey joins us on the program. Good morning, Jay.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you doing?
What the hell happened at Ericsson Stadium yesterday?
Well, to my shock, I went to a little get together with some former coworkers yesterday, and I was gone for most of the game. but I kept checking on my phone to see what all the scores were. And I was just amazed, and everybody else at the get-together was amazed too when I kept giving them the score. I mean, I know the Bucks are struggling with a lot of things right now, but to only score 3 points against that sorry team,
a
sorry team that is beloved by quite a few people. Jay and I both know, including one in particular, who I know is doing a happy dance. I made a promise to Jay this morning that I would take a couple of shots at said fan, turned supposed broadcaster. So here's one of my shots right now. The Panthers still suck, and so do the Hornets, and in many cases, until they win the cup again or get close to competing for the cup, so do the Hurricanes and the Tar Heels and any other Carolina team he's a fan of.
Here's the question that I have to ask. Here's the question I have to ask. The Panthers, before they came into yesterday's game, was 1-5. If you were playing against this team, even if it is in Charlotte, and you only manage a field goal, how dysfunctional is your offense?
absolute. And just 3 days, 3 days before the game, you trade your best player. Your starting quarterback is PJ Walker,
a third stringer,
and the supposed best receiver is DJ Moore.
Mm-hmm.
Your defense is not very good. You just changed coaches a week ago or a week and a half ago, and then you scored 3 points.
I still my I don't think I have picked up my jaw off the ground since I actually saw the final score yesterday. I'm like, wait a minute, this can't be right. You mean to tell me the Buccaneers only managed a field goal, and it was a fourth quarter field goal at that? So they were basically shut out the whole game. And here is this team that should be running away with the NFC South.
Not even close. Hey, you're so right. Not even close.
And they only manage a field goal against, seriously, in my mind, the worst team in the division.
The division is horrible. They should be running away with it.
Yeah. This should be a slam dunk. Seriously, it should be a slam dunk. Bucks winning the NFC South, and the only thing they should be concerning themselves with is how the seeding is going to be in the playoffs. Now they're 3-4, and the NFC South is up for grabs, and the Carolina Panthers could actually win it.
Well, yeah. First of all, that makes me laugh, and probably makes a lot of other people laugh.
Right.
But two, and this is probably more important, what is wrong with the Bucks? I mean, there's clearly some dissension and some dysfunction.
Brady should have still retired.
They're clearly upset with what Brady did last week, going to the Bob Kraft wedding.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine they're probably upset with him for taking 2 weeks off during training camp.
Oh, you know they are. You know they're still holding it against him for that.
And he's dealing with a lot right now.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And clearly he misses his security blanket in Gronkowski.
But that's not even a question there either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about right.
Because it was alleged that he had a new security blanket in Chris Godwin. And, of course, Chris Godwin's a slot receiver versus Gronk being one of the best tight ends to ever play in the game.
Exactly.
But, he's been, he still hasn't been right ever since he injured his knee. And he's coming back, and he hasn't even come close to running back into form. And Brady hasn't had, meanwhile, he hasn't really gotten any symmetry with any tight ends.
None.
And you would think he would have better symmetry with Mike Evans, who is supposedly the best receiver they got on the team. And yet he's up and down with the production. Yes, I know. 9 catches, 96 yards in yesterday's game, but still, you would think that this would be the guy where Brady would look at him and say, okay, cool, you can bail me out of situations when things just go left offensively. Nope.
I don't know if this team's capable of doing that. I really don't.
And I still have a hard time wrapping my brain around the fact that they only managed a field goal against the Panthers. I just don't. I don't care the games in Charlotte. Yeah,
why does it surprise you?
Yeah, a lot of people keep talking about his age. I don't think his age has much to do with this.
I don't think his age has anything to do with it.
I mean, there's a lot of
isn't there no
there's
more.
a lot of factors there. And the other thing is, listen, he's a great defensive coordinator, but he's never proven himself to be a head coach. I'm talking about Todd Bowles.
And I agree with you 100%.
He's not a head coach.
Absolutely. He didn't do a great job with the Jets. He first of all, they missed Bruce
Arians.
Conservative.
Oh gosh, yes.
They missed Bruce Arians.
I don't think that Bruce Arians is a great head coach, but he did win. He did win.
I don't either. He needs to have. To me, Arians needs to have somebody, and Brady, I think, was a great friction counterbalance to Arians, because Arians is extremely aggressive and he wants to take shots down the field all the time. And Brady is more on lines of, sometimes down the field, but not all the time.
And even though he's not the head coach, he's still around the team because
he's a consultant, right? He's a consultant.
And he's either on the sideline or he's in the box every game.
But to your point, Jay, and to you, Wise, Bowles is the total opposite. I mean, he thinks defensively everywhere, and you can see where he is just reining this offense back.
He shows no emotion whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's so stoic on the sidelines.
Ask Ryan McCarthy about him. That's all I gotta say.
Oh my goodness! Oh,
and
Lord,
I don't know that it seemed like Leftwich was calling good games the last couple of years, but this year I don't know.
Yeah, and he see, to me, Leftwich had, again, this goes back to Arians. He had at least Arians to go. He can't go to Bowles and
so he had like offense. A go
yeah, because at least Bruce Arians had an offensive game plan. Todd Bowles is a defensive coach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he's a defensive coordinator in a head coach position right now.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are just not meant to be head coaches.
You're exactly right.
He is one of those people that does not to be. He's a great defensive coordinator. You need to know your lane. That is his lane.
Yeah,
it's been proven over and over and over in the history of football, where you might be the best coordinator of all time, but you're not a good coach. You're not a good head coach
because you got to know how to manage the whole team.
Mm-hmm. And of course, if you're going to be the head coach, the team takes after your image and it takes after your philosophy.
Takes after your attitude.
And it takes after your attitude, which to your point, Jay, in seeing this stoic figure on the sideline, which can be good if things are rolling. It can be bad when you're 3-4 in a division that you should run away with.
Well, sometimes, especially the way they're playing right now, you don't necessarily want to do it all the time, but you want to get up in their face and challenge them. Because, you look at the way they're playing, he never says anything. He never shows any emotion. He never even cracks a smile half the time.
But to answer your question, Wise, why is this so surprising to me? Okay, so you have a team that they've already beaten the Cowboys. Brady has beaten basically his Bucks foil in the Saints in the Superdome. And so you're thinking, okay, well, they may not be world beaters per se, but they probably could still hang about 11, 12 wins on the season. After yesterday, I can't say that.
Well, they have 10 more games. Is that right?
Yeah.
10 more games.
Yeah, 10 more games left. Yeah.
I don't know where they're playing right now. I don't know if they can win 5 of those 10.
And you might not be off. You might not be far off in saying that. And that's why I'm so flummoxed, Wise. This team should handle a team like the Panthers. Even if things were going well for the Panthers, the Buccaneers should handle them. But you're coming into town playing against a team they just fired their head coach,
traded their best player.
They traded their best player, and the quarterback that they signed for in the summer is out. And by the way, their second string is off for the year. And you mean to tell me they can't beat a third string team with a third string quarterback with an overhauled system?
In back-to-back years, you trade for two former number one quarterbacks on two different teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
And neither one of them are playing.
None of them.
Yeah, and neither one of them.
And even when they were playing, they were sucking it up. So how do you lose to the Panthers?
Lose, period. How do you get trounced by them? 21-3, and it wasn't even that close.
No, it really wasn't.
3.
Just think about it. I know the Bucs have some injuries. They have lost Gronkowski to retirement. I understand that. I get that.
Right. They have.
But the talent they have compared to the rest of the division, they ought to be up by at least 3 or 4 games in this division right now.
I agree. 100%, Jay. I agree. The talent the Bucs still have is greater than the rest of the division.
Their division is horrible.
Yes. Yeah. The Saints, the Panthers, and the Falcons, no, they are bad. And the Buccaneers already handled the Falcons too. So I'm like, okay, you handled a team that to me is a little better than the Panthers easily.
I don't know. I can't say they handled the Falcons. There was a couple of calls there that.
Well, okay. All right. Besides the BS roughing the passer penalty.
Okay.
That notwithstanding, the Bucs were handling the Falcons. The Falcons were fighting their way back in there, and yeah, that basically took one out of their sails. But the Bucs had control of that game, unlike yesterday, and and that's why I'm flummoxed. I'm like, okay, where can you pinpoint where this is going wrong for the Buccaneers?
I don't think it's talent, and I don't think it's execution necessarily. There's clearly some dissension in this team.
So if it's not talent, which I don't think it is either, and it's not execution, which I don't think it is either. I mean, Brady did go for 32 of 49 for 290. He didn't throw a pick, and the offensive line only allowed 1 sack. So, the execution is okay. And of course, now I shrug my shoulders at 16 carries and 46 yards for the Buccaneers, but the execution's okay.
Well, just look at last week. I'm not talking about yesterday. I'm talking about last week when he absolutely chewed out the entire offensive line.
Yeah.
Why is he not held accountable for how he's playing right now?
He's Tom Brady.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Agreed. Because he played just as horrible in Pittsburgh as they did. Agreed.
It's hard to argue with his stats and his career that he's not the best player ever, the best quarterback ever. But I've always argued that. I've never thought he was the best quarterback ever.
I don't either.
I know he's got 7 rings.
Yeah, but I don't either. I'm with you, Jay. I don't either.
There are a lot of great quarterbacks in the history of this game.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people disagree with me on this. I always thought, even though they won 2 Super Bowls, I always thought John Elway was the best quarterback.
Oh,
and look at him. He struggled as an executive with the Broncos.
Yeah. Yeah.
But to me, you chew out your entire team, and it seems to be like a pretty regular thing with him.
Yeah, if he's not chewing out his
Why
team,
are they not chewing him out?
He's messing up Windows. Windows tablets.
He's Windows tablets. Yeah, right.
And I don't think it, like we were talking about earlier. I don't think it's his arm strength at his age. It seems to be he's got a good fastball.
His arm strength is fine. Yeah, yeah.
Listen, he's got too many issues at home, man. He should have stood at home, retired.
He is taking advantage of no taxes in Florida.
Of course.
He wants that money back that he lost all those years he gave back to the Patriots.
That I agree with you there too.
And he is taking advantage as much as he can to maximize his availability as a top level quarterback in this league.
And unfortunately, I think because of that, it is coming at the expense of the team's chemistry.
And look, he's all over the TV. He's in a million different commercials.
Mm-hmm. Because you were mentioned, Jay. So it's not talent, which I agree it's not. It's not execution, and I agree there too. So that only speaks to one thing, and that's chemistry. It speaks to how well the team is gelling with one another. And you mentioned they don't look like they're gelling well with Todd Bowles. And it seems like the offense is not gelling with Brian Leftwich either. So, and can you really say the defense is gelling with Bowles? I'm not sure. But what I am sure of is you can't march into an NFL team's building where you have the superior talent and the team you're facing is having the head coach come up with his first game plan of the team, and they're starting a third-string quarterback, and you allow basically the Panthers to literally run roughshod over you.
Yeah.
And you score 3 points against a team that was previously 1-5.
And you only manage a field goal. Yeah. You only manage a field goal. And you do it in the fourth quarter.
So you went 3 quarters being shut out.
You with the first 3 quarters shut out.
And
you with the first 3 quarters shut out by him. Yeah.
Yeah, like you mentioned, you guys mentioned, yeah, Brady's dealing with a lot, but a lot of it's, through him.
Yeah, a lot of it is self-inflicted.
Let's face it, we all know the stories about him and Gisele Bundchen are true, but even though he won't talk about it, we all know that's true.
Mm-hmm. And we see it's affecting him. Yeah.
She's mad that he came back this year. It's obvious. This is where this all started.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, believe me, my manager, who is she's a Steelers fan and still cannot stand Tom Brady for all the times the Patriots just basically just crapped on the Steelers and 11 from the playoffs and won games against them. She couldn't be happier when she couldn't have been happier when she heard the news that Brady was retiring. And my first words when I saw it was to all of them, including my manager, "Oh, he's not retired." She says, "But it's saying here we're going to run with the story." 1 month later, I heard an expletive tirade from her. So
listen, he went home, realized he was going to have to spend time with his girls and
his boy
and his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Nah, screw this. Let me go back." And
do you know how much she's given into this relationship? I mean, she still is a top level model. She's still making more than he is.
Yeah,
exactly.
She's basically, even though she's basically the mother of his first child, who he had with Bridget Moynihan.
Yes.
Right. And Bridget Moynihan, I'm not to say that Bridget Moynihan is not his mother. I mean, she's clearly his real mother, and it will be that way. But for all intents and purposes, sounds like he's with that family a lot. Yeah, so for her to give up what she's given up, and I know they're filthy rich, don't get me wrong, but I think she would every intention of just sitting back, enjoying his retirement, being with the kids, being with the family. And he apparently didn't even discuss this with her.
Wow.
And that, I think, is foul on his part.
How do you not discuss this with your family?
Yeah. That to me is foul.
They don't have to worry about money the rest of their lives. They're both filthy rich.
Because both of them make the family wealthy. Yeah.
I mean, Gisele, even before they even met, Gisele was the top ranked model in the world.
Yeah, and I would think so. You're making a lot of bank, but you're, like you said, your wife is making a whole lot more bank than you, and is able to do so without hurting herself, unlike you.
Exactly.
And she's like, "Listen, you've played long enough. Now it's time for family time."
And we're building a brand new house, which apparently they're going to sell now.
Mm-hmm.
You're building a brand new house that's not even finished, and they're going to sell it.
Yeah, But yeah, it's a mess, and it looks like it is starting to bleed over into how the team is run.
Well, I think that goes back to what I was saying earlier, with training camp being gone for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
When that, even though a lot of players don't play during the preseason, that's where you develop your chemistry. And then he goes up to New England last week for Kraft's wedding. Well, that's another story. Why is he not in jail? And then you come back and act as if nothing happened. I'm talking about Brady flies back on a private jet as if nothing happened.
It's crazy because how do you leave your team to go to a wedding? I don't care. I understand it's Robert Kraft. He's one of your It don't matter, man. You need to be there for your team.
Not be at
your former employee's wedding.
How many other players on the Bucks would have been allowed to have done that? Any player.
None. Zero. None.
I don't even think coaches wouldn't have been allowed to do that.
Nope.
Any player.
None.
And I was thinking back in August. I said, all of these concessions that the Bucks are making for Tom Brady, how is this sitting with the other 40, the other 46 players, 52 players? How is it sitting with them? Because I know that would make the taste in their mouth salty, because they'd say, okay, so there's one set of rules for him and it's another set of rules for us, the other 52.
That divides the team.
That can easily divide a team.
That divides the team, because it's like, I get it, he's the quarterback, but damn, why does he get preferential treatment and go to someone's wedding when we're preparing in the middle of the season?
Mm-hmm.
When we're preparing to win games, we're trying to win games here. Like, the playoffs aren't guaranteed. So how is it that he gets to go to this? I would, if I was a Bucks player, I would be upset too.
Yeah, how could you not be? Because none of those other 52 guys are going to be allowed to do this.
Yeah, absolutely right.
You're not practicing on Saturday. I understand that, but you're there. You're still watching film. You get prepared. You're with your teammates, and you're basically in a bubble for that one day.
Yep.
But he left, came back, and as if nothing happened.
And I'm sure he came back pretty late, unless it was like,
oh, he was.
So he didn't get a full night's rest.
Nope.
He was on the red. He was probably on the red eye on the way back to get to Tampa or whatever it was.
Pittsburgh. They're going to Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Last week was Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Oh, so it still doesn't matter, man. He probably left the wedding. He didn't leave it right. He probably went to the reception and all that. And no. It just wouldn't sit well with me as a player.
And I don't think it sits well with the team as coaches either. And when you have that, like I said, it goes back to chemistry, because it's not talent and it's not execution. Because we all know that Brady knows what he's doing, and the players know what they're doing, because they played with him at least for the last 2+ years.
Right.
And they have a familiarity with Todd Bowles, because he's been with the team too for that long and longer.
And Leftwich.
And they have chemistry with Byron Leftwich for the same reason. So you have that, and you still have Arians in the building, like you said earlier, Jay, because he's a consultant for the team. So you have all of this there. The pieces are there, but they are dysfunctional.
And
they shouldn't have to be. That is where I have the issue. They're dysfunctional, and they shouldn't have to be.
That's what I'm talking about. Where not even just Arians. Arians was willing to challenge you, get up your face.
Right.
And same thing with Belichick.
Right.
Belichick was more than willing to get in his face and challenge him.
Oh gosh, he was.
But I don't think
Belichick tried his best to not have Brady's head swell.
And Bowles, I don't think neither Bowles nor Leftwich are willing to do that.
And they haven't. They haven't thus far.
They gave Brady the keys to the castle, and he is more than taking advantage of it.
Mm-hmm. And you're seeing the damage. You're seeing the collateral damage that's happening, because both. Well, Brian knows, Wise knows, and Jay. The standard in that building is we're going back and winning the championship that we got 2 years ago.
All right.
And anything less is a failure. So that's the expectation, but you're seeing the execution of how this is going to being all wrong. And it shouldn't have to be. And that's why I find it frustration.
Let's face it. The Glazers are one of the richest families in the NFL.
Yeah. And quietly one of the most influential. Yes.
They are, once Brady retires, they might be in a worse position the Panthers are in now. They have no quarterback.
I agree. And I think that is what's going to be problematic for the Bucs going forward.
And you can see that right now, that even with Brady, they're going to struggle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, no air pen at quarterback, no air pen at running back. And you have a wide receiver that's in his prime in Mike Evans, where who's going to be tossing the rock?
Nobody.
Yeah. So
they better off just tanking.
Is Leftwich going to unretire and be their quarterback?
Yeah, and meanwhile, you got studs on defense where it's like, okay, you got David, you have Winfield, and it's like, okay, so we're supposed to hold up the fort for what? For an offense that's atrocious, and they're atrocious with a 7-time Super Bowl champion at quarterback.
Yep.
And they're not going, even if they do finish 500 or a little better than 500 this year, they're not going to get a top-level quarterback. And there's really not a top-level quarterback in this draft.
No.
Hooker's not – I know Hooker. Everybody's talking about Hendon Hooker. And everybody's, talking about,
Hooker is Stroud.
Hooker.
Yeah.
Well, let's face it. He's another Justin Fields.
Well, I agree. But they're going to hype him. They're going to hype at least Stroud. They're going to hype him up like they did Fields 2 years earlier for the draft between January and April. They are. And they're going to hype him up because, like you just said, Jay, there's a dearth again of great quarterback talent that's about to enter the draft.
Because as we've talked many times on this show before, it's the worst coach position in football.
Yeah. The position's being taught horribly on all levels.
Just because a quarterback can run the ball doesn't mean he has to run the ball 90% of the time.
Oh, speaking of which, I mean, Lamar Jackson, wonderful job actually being a quarterback and taking a toss sweep yesterday. It's just that type of stuff frustrates me. And so, you have the Bucks who, I mean, the Bucks have now given the Panthers false hope now, because now they can believe now they have a shot literally of being a divisional champion when they actually played their best game of the year against the divisional champ of last year.
Yep.
And this team still is one in disarray themselves. And I mean they're going through life without Christian McCaffrey. They're going through.
To back up what you're saying, Cole. My living down here. Like I said, I live about an hour and a half from the stadium in Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
And I have seen this from a number of people on social media and friends of mine on social media that they've given up on the Panthers. Well, first of all, that's not how you react as a fan.
No.
I know it's a terrible organization. I get that. But if you're a fan, be a fan. But to complain that they traded Christian McCaffrey, what other choice did they have? They had to trade him. They had to trade him.
That's the only bargaining chip they had.
So what else? I mean, otherwise they had nothing.
So
they had to trade him.
So what did they think they should have done? Trade Baker Mayfield?
You're not going to trade. You're not going to trade McCaffrey. He's going to stay hurt. And I know, to me, they probably should have gotten more, but they're probably not willing to give up a number one draft pick for a guy who's always hurt.
No. And kudos to them for fighting against that. But you're dealing with a team that, they're now mourning the loss of Christian McCaffrey. Now you're dealing with life after Matt Rule 2. And oh, by the way, we're starting our third string quarterback because our backup quarterback's out for the year. And our starting quarterback has been battered and bruised by sometimes of his own volition and other times by a porous offensive line.
I continue to go back to 2 years ago. They've drafted poorly for a long time, but 2 years ago, even with COVID, they had all the information they needed to draft any receiver in that. I mean, that receiver class in 2020 was loaded. They got nobody.
Zero.
They got no offensive linemen when there were two great offensive linemen.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody. But yet they drafted J.C. Horn for some unknown reason.
Good Lord. J.C. Horn. what Panther scout saw this guy and said, "Oh yeah, he'll fit on our team"?
But there
Really?
were a lot of Panthers apologists who said, "Oh, that was great." How do you in this league, where it is an offensive league,
Mm-hmm.
how do you not draft a wide receiver or a left tackle to protect your quarterback?
Yeah, because those are two of the most prime positions that a team needs to have in order to have any success at all in NFL. I mean, it's a left tackle, it's a wide receiver, it's a running back. Although you can draft a running back later in the draft now, quarterback,
Absolutely.
and a pass rusher. And if you want to add a sixth position, a space eater. Other than those positions, it's like, okay, if you're just gonna just throw like it was said earlier, if you're just gonna throw spaghetti on the wall, see if it sticks, and just draft anybody who you would, and they give you the bad excuse of, well, we want to draft the best player on the board, and you're not drafted for need, then you don't need to be in the war room. You don't need to be in the war room because you're hurting your team. And unfortunately, with the Panthers, that is what they're seeing.
Well, let's look here. I'm looking at the 2020 draft right here.
Hmm.
They let's see, they drafted. Let's see, Panthers drafted. Oh, they drafted that year. That's not right. Yeah, that's right. They drafted Derek Brown. How's he working out? All these receivers. Just like all these receivers they messed up on.
Yeah. And either they're not playing or they're in the scout team. That's the ridiculousness I'm talking about with the Panthers. And a team like the Bucs, who have aspirations of championship or bust, they roll into Charlotte and they give you a field goal performance against this jalopy of a team in the Panthers, who they're going through a mourning period of one of the best players that they've ever drafted leaving. And
now, here it is, Cole. 2021, which is I was wrong. I meant to say 2021. I apologize.
Oh, no problem.
All right, Panthers drafted 8th overall last year.
Right.
All right, Jamar Chase and Jalen Waddle were drafted ahead of them, so that's a moot point.
Mm-hmm.
Penei Sewell was drafted above them, so they obviously couldn't draft him as a tackle.
Right.
So they draft J.C. Horn. The very next player picked was the Broncos, was Patrick Surtain, who is a far better player than J.C. Horn.
And I think he would do pretty well on the Panthers. I mean, who would not want to have a shutdown corner on their team?
So you draft a guy from South Carolina instead of a guy from Alabama with a proven track record. Then the very next player picked, Devontae Smith. He's playing great with the Eagles. You mean to tell me they couldn't use him? The Bears stupidly drafted Justin Fields at 11. Mm-hmm. Then the Cowboys drafted Micah Parsons. How's he worked out the last 2 years? He's terrific. Then the Chargers drafted Rashawn Slater. I know he's hurt right now. You mean to tell me they couldn't use him? And it goes on and on. You draft J.C. Horn, where nobody was clamoring to get him at that high pick. If you're going to draft a cornerback, and the guy picked right after him is Patrick Surtain, when he has proved himself over and over and over, he might be the best cornerback in the league right now.
Mm-hmm.
J.C. Horn is not.
And that is why I find all this to be problematic for a team like the Bucs to roll into Charlotte, and you have a team that they just don't know what the heck they're doing. They're just roaming from one place to another. They're just hoping that whatever they do is it operates well, and that it doesn't really matter who is under center or who is blocking for the QB or who is pass rushing the QB or or who is a corner, or who's a linebacker, or who's a wide receiver, or who's a running back, just as long as they have somebody to fill the uniforms and they just get on the field. And this Super Bowl aspirational team lays a golden egg against a squad that is so in arrears. It's not even funny.
Oh. And like I said, I was with a group of former coworkers yesterday, and we were all talking about the Panthers. And I said, nothing's going to change until they change owners, and he's not going anywhere.
No, Tepper's going absolutely nowhere.
He's not going anywhere.
You know it better than me. You live closer there than I do. You know David Tepper is loving the fact that he actually owns an NFL franchise.
Absolutely.
Since he was an executive for a while with the Steelers, you know he's loving the fact he's one of the 32 power brokers in the NFL.
And,
so you know that is not changing.
Everybody said he learned at the feet of the Rooneys. He is nothing like the Rooneys.
Oh, not even close.
Nothing.
Not even close. Not even close. Because you know, and just as well as I did, and wise as well, the Rooneys are like, okay, we know football, but we want people who are in position to know the sport the way it's supposed to be known.
They let the football people do football things.
Yeah,
that's what they do.
By the people they choose. It's like I've said often. The Rooneys are like they're like the Bad Boy song, Bad Boy for Life, when Diddy said the quote of, "Don't worry if I write rhymes, I write checks." That is how the Rooneys are. It's like, man, we're not worried about if we know the X's and O's. Yes, we do, but that's not our job. Our job is to sign the checks.
Exactly. They don't meddle in the business of football. They, like you said, they're only signing checks.
Yeah.
They're not like, Tepper's in a way like Jerry Jones. And at least Jerry Jones won a little.
Yeah.
He's running his mouth, and it drives me nuts to hear all the media just like he's a magnet for the media that they have to run to him. When Tepper's kind of the same way. And let's face it, the Cowboys have a much bigger following than the Panthers ever thought about having.
Oh, yeah. It's not even a question. Not even a question. All right. Man, I could talk more about this with you, man, because I've enjoyed this conversation. But tell the people where they can find you, sir, because you do some good stuff and you do some good work. You
can find me on Facebook at Jay Spivey, and you can find me on Twitter at JAY Spivey, SPIVEY _WSJ. And my Instagram is at JAYSPIVEY3.
All right. Well, there you have it. Good journalist and a wonderful friend of ours to the show, Jay Spivey. Well, Jay, as always, it's a pleasure, brother. And we'll hope we do this again next week.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed it. Take care. Have a good week.
You too, brother. Once again, it's Jay Spivey of Spivey Notes, and he always joins us every Monday at 9:35 Eastern. And that will do it for Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. I want to thank you all in the chat. You all actually are wonderful, and hope everything's well with all of you. Hope everything's well with you, Wise. Hope everything is wise with our brother Brian. And as for me, everything is good. Everything will be even better, because later on this week, you will see the two of us, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, for this.
Women and men. Why is it that we have this need to clash? Why is it that we don't want to do anything at times but outshine and gloat at the other's expense? BS3 Network proudly presents a conversation needing to be had between men and women. Because do we want to compete with one another? Or do we want our uniqueness to be celebrated the most from the opposite gender? Revelations, the panel. Battle of the Sexes. Why are we aggressively in competition with each other? Live Friday, October 28th at 7 p.m. Central.
And the panel is set. You're seeing one of the panelists right here. And why is el jefe? We'll have two from the Knuckleheads Chronicles podcast joining us as well. We'll have one from Life Happens podcast. We'll also have two who have appeared earlier on Revelations join us as well. So yes, Friday night or Friday evening, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, Revelations, the panel. I hope you all in the chat joins us as well, because I think you all enjoy this conversation. And I hope you all do as well at Roku and the BS3 world and all who's tuning in here, because I think you all will be interested in what we all have to say in this conversation. But that is for Friday. As for today, we have to wrap things up. And for my man Wise, for Brian, this is Cole saying on behalf of my partner, take care. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, your dreams don't scare you. They're just simply not big enough. Dream big and do bigger. That's what we're doing. That's what Brian's doing. I know that's what you're all doing in the chat. We hope you in the listening and viewing audience are doing the same as well. Until the next time, which will be tomorrow, we'll talk further about the Phillies and Astros in the World Series. And we have to deal with another Monday Night Football fiasco. Ugh. Tune into that, and the Playmaker will join us tomorrow as well. Until then, see you later.
Thank you for tuning in to Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson, the hottest of hot takes and the coldest of cold, hard facts.